Taiwan is a country famous for its night market sightseeing. When it comes to the night market, the first thing that comes to many people's mind is Taiwan. In this section, we will explain why night market attract tourists and the differences between night market and morning market. Night markets in Taiwan have a history of at least 200 years and gradually become a city due to the gathering of vendors. Since the Qing dynasty, Han immigrants from Fujian and Guangdong crossed the sea to reclaim mountains and forests on this island, which was very physical. So the snack vendors would carry poles on their shoulders and pedal along the streets, sending all kinds of cold and hot food to the fields and the mountains for reclamation. During the reclamation period, in order to pray for peace, temples were built in the city to hold the festivals. At this time, people were gathering in this place. In other words, crowded places were gathering many different vendors. And here are two examples. The first one is Huaxi Street in Taipei City, which is near Longshan Temple, so it became famous. And the next one is Keelung's Miaokou Night Market. The reason why it became more and more popular, because it located next to Dianji Temple. Moreover, these two places have the same reasons to attract people to visit it. So why do night markets attract tourists? Taiwan night markets has many local specialties, although Taiwan's food can be eaten anywhere. However, it is only that you can enjoy all kinds of delicious food in a specific area. For Taiwanese, eating is an art as well as a cultural expression. In particular, the spatial historical background of Taiwan has made the food culture more diversified, which has created a night market with many special cuisines. Besides, many night markets in cooperation with the government to promote the local culture by combining the local markets, such as the Dongdamen Night Market in Hualien holds a concert every summer vacation, attracting tourists from all over Taiwan or even the world. Therefore, Dongdamen Night Markets has made successful marketing. The first level of the tourism marketing is to promote the good scenery of Taiwan, and the second level is to integrate tourists into local people's life. And the night market is a symbol of Taiwan's common culture.
Do you still remember the scene of traveling with your family in the market when you were young? How long have you not walked into the traditional market? There are colorful ingredients, greetings one after another, and everyone holding today's purchase list, etc. The traditional market carries the style of market life and provides a variety of necessities and food for the people's livelihood. Among them, stores and the interaction between customers adds a thick human touch to the traditional market. Here, we will introduce our research motivation. The decline of traditional markets is deeply affected by economic development, social environment, and changes in consumer buying behavior. Substantial increase in national income, urbanization of the population, increase in working women, increase in small families, improvement in national education standards, increase in leisure time, popularization of refrigeration equipment, development of food processing and packaging industry, and more advanced food processing factors, such as trust have made the Chinese emphasize comfortable living and shopping quality, and deepen their negative impression of the messy environment of the traditional market. Under these circumstances, the market's hardware, equipment, and software business strategies will not be able to keep pace with the development of the times, cater to the needs of consumers, and will eventually become obsolete. Facing the rapid emergence of supermarkets advertised as bright, clean, spacious, comfortable, complete, and low price in recent years, the traditional market has faced the harshest competition ever. Traditional markets grow together with traditional settlements and carry many living entities and memories of residents. As far as the current situation is concerned, consumers are still accustomed to buying fresh food in traditional markets, and the difference in consumer personality when buying general food or daily necessities in supermarkets shows that the traditional market niche still occupies a certain position.
Morning market development. The night market is a major tourist asset in Taiwan. But how about the morning market? In this section, we will also introduce the development history of the morning market. Morning market mainly appear in the early morning period and early to do business. It may sell some groceries, fruits, vegetables, and seafood. Nowadays, it is mostly in the form of fresh products. During the Sui and Tang dynasties, the business hours of the market were strictly regulated by the government. Song dynasty, mainly used to express the flow of people at the night market, gradually become a trend. The morning market is as limited as the night market, so it is popular. According to business hours, the morning market is generally divided into two categories. First, fixed point morning market. That is the morning market for only daily business and with fixed location. Mobile morning market. A morning market that is open on a particular day or time, as a participating business move to other places on other days. Like a mobile morning market in a neighborhood, it is commonly seen on the edge of country or city and maybe use the parking lot, lawn, or park. All the business are in the form of storeholder. They will arrive at a site at midnight and be removed before noon from 5 o'clock. The advantage of this type of morning market are easy to clean and park, and each vendor is most different. On the contrary, it may affect the peace of nearby residents, and it may be illegal. Questionnaire survey analysis. Facing a change in consumption habits, young people are more and more unwilling to enter the traditional morning market, and the old market is gradually facing transformation. How can we find the value and importance of the traditional market? Speaking to the night market, most of the target customer group is the young generation. But society is gradually facing the problem of the aging, and how to change the night market's tourist group to achieve the goal of sustainable operation. Gender. This questionnaire is mainly aimed at different genders, occupations, and ages. It conducts online survey and analysis on the views and understandings of traditional morning markets and sightseeing night market. First of all, we have received a total of 353 responses, with a ratio of 36% to 64% for males and females. The main age group is between 21 to 25 years old, accounting for 32.6%, and the secondary group are between 46 to 50 years old and 51 to 55 years old, accounting for 13% and 12.7%. Occupation. The majority of occupations were students for 38.2%, followed by the office workers for 14.2%, and the public education. Current residence. The area of residence is 38.8% and 34.8%, respectively, in northern and southern areas, and it is located in central. Part 1. First of all, we focus on where customers will go to buy the vegetables. The data shows that most people will choose to buy it in a supermarket. Secondly, followed by the traditional morning market and hypermarkets. We infer that, due to the new technological advances, there are many sales channels to choose, which leads to the diversion of customers in the morning market. According to the results of the analysis, with 49.4% of people will only go to the morning market once to 3 times per month, while 24.6% of people wouldn't even do that once a month.
Therefore, we began to analyze the motivations of customers to go to the morning market, as well as its advantage and disadvantage. To explore the reason why customers choose to go to the traditional market, the main purpose that most people go to the morning market is for shopping, accounting for 72%, followed by shopping, and the data also shows that the most of the reason for people to go to the morning market are human touch, fresh food, cheaper price, and variety. To talk about the disadvantage side, such as the dirty environment, crowded, noises, and unclear flow.
Part 2. In the second part, we mainly compare with the frequency of the respondents visiting the night market every month. For 65.4% of the people go there once to 3 times a month, followed by 20.4% of them were known visiting the night market. And then we use the same way to research the motivation of the customers, also the advantage and disadvantage of the survey. The vast majority of people go to the night market is to eat and shopping. The advantage is food delivery and experience in local food culture, while the shortcomings are still high repeatability, environmental sanitation, needs to improve, and also the noise problem. Based on our investigation and research of the differences between the traditional morning market and the night market, advantage and disadvantage, and a selection of the respondents, the conclusion will be nowadays, young people can choose in the supermarket or other channels to buy food. The important reason is convenience.
However, the morning market also has some problems exist above, which result in lost some customers. mainly the improvement of environmental sanitation and replanning the flow, can highlight the advantage of the morning market in order to attract customers' attention. Also, do some activities to let more people understand the traditional morning market. The diversity of the sites in night market are similar to the traditional morning market, but the biggest problem is that the repetition is too high, which seriously affects the willingness of customers to go. If the stores can be more diversified, it will greatly attract customers.
During the street visits, we interviewed many shops and senior tour guides of Collator. During the process, the tour guides participated in activities we co-organized and experienced the morning market that the most people don't often go to. Because most of them are from Taipei, they don't go to the morning market to buy things in particular. After this event, Collator felt that they could consider integrating the morning market activities into the domestic travel itinerary, so that foreign tourists can have a deeper understanding of Taiwan. During our visit to the Beiguan market, we visited the stall selling mochi. They have been selling mochi in the market for more than 10 years. One of the reasons is that they are close to home and easy to come out to set up stalls. The surprise for the age of consumers ranges from young to old. The quilt shop sells quilts in the morning market throughout northern Taiwan. The shop's vendor says that the new Taipei city is the most competitive. Because of the competition with each other, quality is difficult to maintain. The customers also have every age group. The vendor of the pork shop said that compared with the pork in the supermarket, they are the warm-bodied pork that is slaughtered every day. Compared with the quality of the supermarket, they are fresher. He also discussed the recent live pig problem. There is a label indicating qualified domestic pork on the stall, and they are all fresh and delivered directly from the local area, so consumers can eat it without worrying. A family after visiting the morning market said that young people don't often come to the morning market because of family habits. If they usually come with their family, they will also come to the morning market when they grow up. The advantage is that they can bargain prices and the ingredients are fresh. Having lunch at a nearby snack bar is also a way to enhance family relationships. On the same day, we prepared a barrier-breaking activity for the senior guides to breaking through the activities in groups. There are packages of spring rolls. There are the famous Yilan duck rewards and the local use of sauce. In this activity, everyone can make a spring roll as their lunch. This activity not only let them experience the DIY spring rolls but also learn about the local characteristic of Yilan. The fishbowl activities allow the teams to experience how to pinch fishballs, and then during the process, they can understand that the fishballs that are usually eaten are not easy to come by. It turns out that making fishballs is not that simple. At the balloon activity, they can experience balloon folding and get an in-depth understanding of how local craftsmen play their skills in the market. Young Grandpa, the teacher whose name is 笑脸阿公 in Taiwanese. Xiaolian Agong leads Luodong vocational students to outdoor teaching in the Luodong Minsheng market. First, they came to the pork stall and started to explain the benefits of the morning market. For example, we can buy parts that are rare in the supermarket. such as pork kidney, pig heart, etc. And all warm body pork is delivered directly from the fresh produce area every day, so don't worry about buying some expired meat. Then he came to the smoked duckling shop, which sells some local specialties. What was even more surprising was the pig's scalp. So consumers could choose the part and portion they want. This is also the advantage of the morning market. Next, they visited the knife shop. The knife vendor showed everyone how to sharpen the knife and how to make the knife sharper. Because the knife at the pork stall needs to be used to chop meats and bones, a sharp knife is quite important to them. Then they came to a seed shop selling several kinds of seeds. We only know the vegetables that we are eating at the market, but we don't know what the seeds look like. So after this visit, we have a better understanding of many crops. And I also maintain a grateful heart to thank those farmers who have worked hard. Then we came to an old-fashioned beverage store, which sells all kinds of traditional beverage, most of which are old-fashioned, but also sell espresso coffee. It has been said that it is advancing with the times. We also talked about the rent is only 3,000 NT dollars per month, which makes everyone very excited. Experiencing a rural kitchen is another tour led by Young Grandpa. At first, Young Grandpa took every tourist to the morning market in Yilan City to buy ingredients, to enjoy an authentic tour of shopping for groceries in the market. Then, after buying all the ingredients they need, he took everyone to the You Ama Yi Zhan and prepared to cook by the tourists themselves. You Ama Yi Zhan is an old building handed down from the grandma of the teacher's wife. It was rebuilt together by Young Grandpa and his wife, Xiannu, to inject new vitality into the countryside. Then the teacher led everyone to cut the fruits and vegetables they bought from the morning market, and then assemble them into 咸菜节, or pickled vegetable nuts. In the process, everyone experienced the fun of cooking by hand. Chatting with friends from time to time also promoted mutual feelings. Then there is Yilan's local specialty snacks, 一串心. The ingredients include tofu skin, smoked duckling, pig scalp, and coriander. Simple ingredients create extraordinary deliciousness and let everyone know more about Yilan's local taste. The last is to make rice balls by hand. Dip some water on your hands and sprinkle some salt to make the rice balls warmer. Then there is a traditional braised pork that must be available at everyone's home. And then they made it into a traditional rice ball. After eating, Xiannu sang her songs for everyone in front of her. It combines the morning market and the countryside and used beautiful singing to create an extraordinary rural sentiment, allowing everyone to enjoy this rural time even more.
So what's the value of the morning market in your mind?
Okay, so what's the value of the morning market in my mind? Okay, for me, because I grew up in the morning market, so for me that's life. Even though I study in Jiayi and then I went abroad to Australia and Japan to finish my working holidays. When I returned, and now I'm a tour guide in the morning market, so many different visible value for me. But why I focus on morning markets, because when we travel to some place, normally if we want to know more deeply about this local culture, local area, then normally we will go to the morning markets. Okay, so for us, when we international visitors come to Yilan, also they come to our morning markets. But the thing is, when they come here, English problem, Chinese problem, Taiwanese language problem. So you need someone, you need a local to introduce or explain for you or to be your guide. Then you can get more involved in this local culture. So that's what I'm doing because I'm local in Yilan. So I can explain, I can introduce you, and then I can connect you to local people. So that's a very important value for me.
And the next one, what is the motivation of establish Seiyachi? And please introduce one day talk.
Actually, say Tai Chi, yeah.
Say.
Okay, so why I established like Yilan Say Tai Chi, this brand, this local tour to morning markets, because when I went to Australia or Japan, I also visited the local morning market. So I found, yes, that's very interesting if you are able to see the local markets, then what people eat, what people buy, what people dress, what's the smell there. It's very exotic for me. And then on the other side, when I made a lot of different international friends, when they are able to come to Taiwan to visit us, then of course they want to come to visit me. Then where can I introduce my life or the local culture to them? Well, I grew up in the morning markets. Then I have a lot of memories, stories, even very familiar people here. So of course that's a place you have a lot of stories to tell. Then why not bring them there? But when you bring them to the local markets, I found it's so many different shops, so many different food, so many different people here. How can you, within these 2 hours, to make them one by one, and then you can try something local delicacies, know the local history, and then you get know about masters of these different stores. So you need to design this tour for them. So where is a good location for them to gather, and then what's the itinerary for them from here, from there, and then it's even better you can help them and then arrange a DIY, do it yourself activities for them to interact with the master of local food. So that's why when I started this 4 years ago, until now it become part of my job, part of my business to be a tour guide to bring international visitors and students to local markets. So, well, that's part of my passion. I can combine my life and the work together. So I think that's a dream job for me.
Why we often hear the morning market has human touch?
Well, because in Taiwan we have a saying, the most beautiful scenery is people. So we know people because only human beings appreciate the beauty of the landscape or the beauty of the people's hearts. So in one city, in one area, where people gather most, normally that's the market. Because when people gathering, of course, they have some chats, they need some food to exchange. They need to trade. Then of course, when people gathering, we have a lot of interaction. And of course, sometimes if you go to the morning markets, you go with your parents, your grandparents, then we have a lot of memories here. So nowadays, many the elder go to morning markets not only just for buy daily groceries, but they want to go there to chat with good friends. For them, that's part of life. Why we say human touch? Because when people gathering, you meet friends. We always meet friends, and then your friends all go to morning market, so you go there. Okay, that's for many elders go there. Human touch is important for us.
So, what is the difference between the morning market and the night market?
Actually, in the world, all the international visitors come to Taiwan, they will definitely go to night markets for food. Especially in Taiwan, probably 24 hours we have somewhere you have food you can buy. And night markets at nighttime is attractive because there are so many different options for you to choose and a lot of local delicacies. And from north to south, it's all different. And our tourism board, they also promote a night market as part of tourist destinations for international guests. So far, too many night markets. Next, where can we promote for Taiwan tourism? We found morning markets is more pure, simple. People here is more locals. But for night markets, more tourists. Morning market is more locals. So when we travel to somewhere, of course, we prefer to meet more locals. We know more about local stories, more authentic food someone can recommend you as locals. Morning markets become popular. But so far, there are not so many tour guides in morning markets. Maybe I'm one of the, I'm not say pioneer, but at least I'm first or second to promote morning markets as tourist destinations for international guests. I think in the future, it will become popular around Taiwan.
The target specification. In recent years, by adjustment of industrial structure, increase of fast food junkie population proportion, the change of the customer behavior pattern, supermarkets expansion, especially some stores also sells the products by the internet or some applications and so on. How to excel the advantage and the functions of the traditional morning market, at the same time, cooperate with energy conservation and carbon reduction, promote green living, and response to the reuse of second-hand resources. So far, as we are worth pondering one of the issues. Traditional markets will take on a new style if we are able to make effective use the human capital of market organizations, communities, and vendors and cooperate with the effective innovation and apply information equipment in a way that enables customers to behave differently from before. As mentioned above, we list the following chart. Enhance the competitiveness of the morning market. Import demonstration mode of morning market industry and promote demonstration paving. Using a sample market and famous store certification to construct a new style of market. Guide the new generation to start their own business to stimulate market innovation. Publish a special issues and magazines to assist in the modernization of traditional markets. Activate the IVO space and promote the effective reuse of the second-hand resources. Promote green marketing. Implement energy saving and carbon reduction of the morning market, using technology and social media to expand marketing. After visiting the morning market with us and participating in some interesting activities by the video, did you change your impression of the morning market? What does the morning market mean to you now? May I possibly recommend visiting the morning market with your family or friends this weekend to experience the human touch of the morning and start the day full of energy? Thank you.